to go. Well, good to have you on stage, Alex, from Tombras.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Do you have slides on?
There it is.
So I think, what I've appreciated...
Technical error.
Yeah, technical error, exactly.
Product guys.
One of the things I've appreciated about Tombras, and I would say you particularly, is your enthusiasm on innovation and always trying and iterating new things, and you're focused on excellence. And I think that's really shown in how you've been able to drive results for your clients. And I think it's been a foundation of how we've really enjoyed working with each other. One of the other things that I think we've had in common is that every marketing brief starts with a person, not a cookie, an actual human. And a lot of marketers are swimming in an ocean of data in search of that mythical human. And in today's world, what our chief data officer actually quoted is, data is abundant, but intelligence is very scarce. And that's, I think, the foundation of people-based, intelligence-led marketing is what brought Zeta and Tombras together.
Absolutely.
What are some of the first impressions you had of Zeta and sort of our initial working together?
Yeah, it was actually very interesting. I think the biggest thing was the similarities between our companies, right? For those of you who don't know, Tombras is considered to be one of the best, if not the best, agencies in the US right now. And that really started about 5 to 7 years ago when we started really amassing talent into little Knoxville, Tennessee, right? And we were able to find the ex-heads or founders of other agencies and then bring them in. Very similarly to what you guys have done, right, across your entire organization, but specifically on the product and technology side, right? And you had such a startup mentality even as an enterprise, and that's very much how we operate now. We've seen this insane scale, but still have that startup foundation that we all kind of work towards. And the other similarity that we found was, as an agency, we have a saying that really is the way we operate, which is connecting data and creativity for business outcomes. And that really makes us act almost as a consultancy versus just a vendor to our individual clients. And from the moment we started partnering with you guys and working on the iteration of our partnership, that's what we found as well. It wasn't, here's our product and this is what it'll do for you. It's, here's our product, what else do you need it to do for you to be successful?
Exactly. And maybe tell us a little bit about some of the challenges that you guys ran into before we started working together, and how they've come away so far.
Yeah, I think that although amassing all this talent was just such a success and a big driver to all the foundational success that we've seen, it does lead to a bunch of individuals, right, being able to ladder up to an overall organization or enterprise. And what we really wanted to do is democratize all the information and the way we thought at the leadership level to the rest of the organization, right? And that was a real foundational piece of our partnership, is how do you help us operationalize and democratize our data as well as your data across our entire enterprise to be as successful and also as startup-y as possible, right?
Yeah.
We want to move fast, and the only way to move fast without continuously breaking things is having operations and software and applications that allow our team and allow us to have guardrails and allow us to also promote the drive that we see from everyone that works here.
Yeah, so you bring up a good point, and I think that was the foundation of sort of the Zeta Marketing Platform version that we built together to really have that unified view across the entire org, all those hundreds of people that work on a client, to be able to see the same ground truth and then be able to get acceleration from the platform. What are some of the, as we kind of integrated horizontally, I think, a lot of that platform with the way you already did business, right? You already had operations going on, you already had creative, all of that. So the way that it horizontally integrated, what are some of the highlights of that integration that's really helped you guys accelerate what you do for clients?
I think to that point, like when we started our relationship, we were really focused on people, right? Both internally, but also people that our individual clients wanted to go after, right? We took a very audience-centric approach, and that was your initial way in, right? Your audience platform and the Zeta Data Cloud infrastructure itself, right? But that's only one piece to the larger puzzle of operationalizing, democratizing our data, right? So what we were really trying to do is create a very deep vertical integration with you guys through your audience platform. And as I was telling you guys earlier, I think 44% of our entire organization has logged in the past 7 days, right? So I would consider that operationalization. But what we wanted to do next was, after we had that vertical integration, how do we horizontally integrate with you guys across our entire org, right? And outside of one singular output, which is audience, and integrate everything that you guys have from a technology and data perspective and everything we've created on our side to really even further expand what we're able to do for our clients and really focus our internal teams on the only thing we care about, which is driving value, right? And then that kind of led to what we're going to show right now.
Awesome. Yeah, I think we started out with intelligence, and I think Nish and Chris touched on this on the main stage, how that's evolved into answers, series of basic products within the Zeta Marketing Platform that's really helped bring those answers up front so that clients can action on. And then the next stage is really integrating a lot of those orchestration and other pieces to improve that. Maybe talk about some of the successes we have had so far. I know we have a couple of clients that you guys have seen great success with. And these aren't small brands. These are pretty large enterprises.
Across the entire United States, I think like actually Sally Beauty and Josh Sellers are actually almost paradigms to our relationship, right?
Yeah.
Each of these brands, on Sally Beauty, we initially won media at first, and then for Josh Sellers, we initially won creative at first, right? So we had that vertical integration with them. But what we saw is like every single brand, they want the ability to leverage what you're doing on the marketing side and the intelligence. Again, what we focused on with our partnership with you guys is bringing intelligence to the forefront of everything we do. That's not just for marketing, right? That's across the entire organization on the client side. So what we really focused on with Sally Beauty specifically, and then Josh Sellers later on, is two very similar case studies where the clients saw so much value in our outputs from an audience perspective, from an intelligence perspective, from a BI perspective, that they started integrating it across the entire organization, right? So Sally Beauty ended up giving us creative because of our ability to connect intelligence from an audience and customer perspective to media and then to creative. But we even further expanded that, and now we're actually integrated into their product and supply team when they're going out and looking for trends and additional things. So what we've really seen, and Josh Sellers very similarly, is an expansion of our partnership and of our relationship because of the value we were able to provide and the intelligence we were able to garner.
Awesome. Yeah, I think the intelligence has been the unlock, and I think the next phase is really shortening that distance between intelligence and action. Until you have a moment that you have an information and you can act immediately. And to tell you more about how the next phase of our partnership and how we're actually accomplishing that, I would like to ask you, Graham, to walk us through what does the next phase look like in reality, and how do we shorten that distance?
Yeah, so Alex and I have had a lot of fun over the last few months putting actual agentic...
What he means is I've been annoying him every day.
True partnership from the beginning, and actually putting into production agentic transformation, which is really a great experience. When we talk to our customers, we tend to break things down and try to demystify it into 3 different levels of sophistication. The first being conversational AI, which we're all used to as consumers, right? Using a ChatGPT to help you complete a task. You own the task, but you're using AI to help assist you. The second level is when you get more into using agents, where you're actually training that to be a domain expert, and you're offloading that task over to an agent to complete on your behalf. You review it afterwards. The third level is more outcome-based, and this is where it gets very futuristic, but this is here today, and the Tombras team has launched this, which is really outcome-based AI. So you as the expert, Tombras as the experts, get to set the objective, and then the AI uses its tools, its resources, the data it has available to execute a series of tasks, all for the Tombras team to review and be able to bring to market quicker. So if you go with the next screen here, this is our AI workflows tool, working with the Tombras team here. And it may be a little bit hard to see there, but basically what happens is at the top of the screen, you use a single prompt. So this may be, hey, we have X dollars in spend, or we're trying to hit this revenue target. Underneath that, there are a series of agents, each doing a different task, but they pass the result of what they've worked on to the next agent in the string. So the first agent here is directly connected to our data cloud, and it will go ahead and identify the audiences that the Tombras team will find most effective for their brand client. The second one actually applies messaging strategy, personas, content around that. And then the third one creates the audiences in the ZMP ready for them to syndicate. So all of that from a single prompt, and it really is aimed here to introduce operational efficiencies and streamline and a value add for Alex and team.
Yeah, I think to that point, it really democratizes the use of AI, right? Because it allows our engineering team and our data and security teams to be very confident in the infrastructure and the controls, but it also allows people to go in and create agents by themselves, right? And then create workflows and not have to worry about the agent-to-agent protocols. It's all integrated into the overall stack. And then you're able to access we're able to access all of our client customer data and all of the Zeta data and bring it all into one place.
Right.
And then automate workflows and continue to expand and drive and allow our employees to focus not on the time they're spending, but on the value they're creating.
Right. And this is just one example. I mean, you can really use this across any workflow that you have internally and apply that.
And it could be a workflow that has nothing to do with Zeta. Right?
Yeah.
I think that was an example. There was a couple agents in there that are really focused on brand strategy, right? And that has never been a part of our relationship to date, but this allows us to expand and horizontally integrate with you guys even further and vice versa.
Yeah, and I think Chris mentioned this on the other stage as well, which is we're really amazed by the kind of agents that our clients are making, because you're so close to the problem and you really understand the workflows that need to happen.
Yeah.
But what these tools give you the ability is to iterate to the ethos that we started with, to iterate really rapidly and really improve the results without having to go through those long cycles before.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really good point, right? It no longer is the requirement of me as the head of product or a CTO or a chief digital officer to oversee and have to create all of our automation, right, from an AI perspective. It allows the individuals, regardless of level, regardless of department, to go in and create agents and AI workflows that allow them to be as effective as possible.
So any advice for the crowd on how to apply agentic transformation?
Yeah, I would say that when we think about agentic transformation across Tombras, our focus is making sure that the outcome and the value being derived is as impactful and valuable, I guess, as possible, right? And where we're trying to go is making sure that our standard is met from any type of AI agent or agentic workflow use cases. And that's always, I think, the hard part as a leader is there's obviously the labor impact, right? But there's also the output impact, right? And I think that too far do we go focus solely on the labor side when the output isn't up to your overarching standards. And freeing up people's time to do worse work is not where we want to go as an industry. And that's really been a focus at Tombras, is using automation and AI and agents and agentic workflows to provide more value, not free up people's time to provide less.
Again, thanks for being here today. Graham, appreciate it. Looking forward to many years of working together and delivering even better results for clients.
Absolutely.
So, good to have you.
Okay.
Thank you.